हेलो एवरीवन, तो वेलकम टू आवर नेक्स्ट एपिसोड ऑफ द यूएसए पीएचडी। तो यार लास्ट वीडियोस में अपन ने जो स्टूडेंट यूएसए से पीएचडी कर रहे हैं या फिर अदर कंट्री से पीएचडी कर रहे हैं उनके बारे में अपन ने बात करा था। तो आज का वीडियो भी कहीं ना कहीं उसी के बेसिस पे होने वाला है। लेकिन आज जिस पॉइंट्स पर अपन बात करने वाले हैं, कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट होंगे लास्ट वीडियो से। तो आपको बड़े मजे भी आएंगे सुनने में और आपको जानने को मौका भी मिलेगा कि लाइक यदि आपको अब्रॉड से पीएचडी करना है तो क्या क्या चीजें जरूरी वगैरह होती है। तो आज की सेशन के लिए अपन ने इनवाइट करा है अरिजीत भाई को, जो कि अभी यूएसए से अपना पीएचडी कर रहा है। So welcome Arjun bhai on our platform Master What's up?
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really grateful कि मेरे को मतलब I get to know you people and also like मेरे को अच्छा लगता है कि जब मैं शेयर कर पाता हूँ मेरे एक्सपीरियंसेस या फिर कुछ सजेशंस जो कि बहुत काम आते हैं, क्योंकि एज अ इंडियन स्टूडेंट we always have some queries
Right.
and we also want have some questions that we want to answer. So it's great opportunity for me also.
Yeah. So first of all, introduce about your where you completed your master, then about your PhD project and your university.
Sure. Hi, I'm currently doing a PhD in statistics from Duke University in North Carolina, USA. So this is my first year. I have joined in fall 24.
Hmm.
Prior coming to here, I was a master's student in IIT Kanpur. I joined there 2022. I joined with like JAM exam. I think you all know of it.
Hmm.
So I completed my Master of Science in Statistics from there. And also before that, I completed my BSc in Statistics from Ramakrishna Mission, Narendrapur, Kolkata.
Hmm.
So that's my academic journey. And yeah, that's all, I think.
Okay. So why you choose the PhD as your career and why for the USA, not for the India?
Yeah, sure. That's a like very good questions. So PhD. So why do I choose PhD? That's like choosing a PhD is like most often is a personal opinion or like personal
Hmm.
choice. For me, it was like I wanted to get the highest education any subject could offer me. So that was my main motivation. Like I want to
Hmm.
get to the top of it. Like so, if I do up to the masters, then I could get a job. It's okay, but I wanted to do some more educations, and also not only that but also like I liked doing research when I was in a master students,
Hmm.
like exploring new fields that comes with this, doing new things, new coding, new methodology, new theory. So that all inspired me also. So that was the main reason. And about why USA, that is like no offense, but it is generally said that the opportunities are
Right.
better in USA. I like no offense to Indian education
Hmm.
system. I know that that is great, but for particularly for our subject, the central hub of statistics has become USA for like almost 1 or 2 decades. So that was the main reason. Also, like high quality educations and infrastructures and like stipends in terms of like fundings, all are
Hmm.
better in USA. You have to agree with that in any
Okay.
cases. So those are the reasons, obviously, and also
Hmm.
like high faculties there. Honestly, for me, for statistics, the the scopes of PhD in India is very less, apart from 1 or 2 institutions. So that was the main reason for me being statistics student. If you talk about chemistry or physics, there might be some good options like ISC Bangalore, IITs, IISER Pune, or like not Pune, all the IISERs.
Hmm.
So maybe that scene may be different for physics, chemistry, or like other basic sciences. But for
Right.
me, it was an like easy choice for me to come to USA.
Okay, so like our main target for the videos like the USA PhD versus Europe PhD and about
Sure.
like abroad PhD you can say that could be. So just can you compare about the USA versus Europe PhD?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, for someone who is thinking about going to like PhD, like he has, if you have good choices, that is Europe and USA. I'm not saying there are not others. For example, in Singapore and in Australia, there are also good universities, but mainly Europe and USA we like to like look for. So the main differences of USA and Europe being the duration of PhD and the curriculum. So so if I start with the curriculum of USA, so what happens is you start with 2 or 3 semesters of coursework, then you pass a exam like prelims or quals that gives you PhD candidacy. After that, you start like you select an advisor and start doing research with him or her. So
Okay.
that's the like thing in with a USA PhD. What Europe PhD does is like skips the first part, like the the teaching part, where they teach you, they want to like make you acquaintance with some relevant topics and directly start with the research. So that's why USA PhD takes on average 5 years and Europe PhD takes on average 3 years, because they start right away into the project
Hmm.
like research.
Hmm.
Now why and how you should choose it? So my opinion or suggestion is, if you have some good direction, like for me, I didn't have a good direction of exact particular topic that I'm going to work with.
Hmm.
I wanted to explore more. I knew that in masters I had not explored enough. I wanted to explore more. So that's why I would not choose Europe, because in Europe you have to be very specific about, yes, I'm doing with this particular topic, and these professors are working with this particular topic, so I'll be applying to them. So this is very specific. This happens with most of the chemistry students, because like honestly, I have some chemistry like friends from chemistry department. So they are like, I am working with this particular like compound and
Hmm.
like that particular bond,
Hmm.
from this MSc also. So in that sense, they try to they don't like to deviate from there, and they start right away their PhD research from that point. So if you have some direct like directions or like implications of what you are trying to do right away, then Euro PhD might be good for you, because you don't waste your 1 or 2 years
Hmm.
in trying to know other things, right?
Right.
But if you don't have any good ideas, like I didn't have any good ideas, so that's when USA PhD is, I think it's better, because like the culture, the education system is different from India, so you'll know how the things work, how their mentality works,
Hmm.
how what do they want from you. So those are very important things. If you don't know, you will be, you will not be compatible with your advisor. So that those are the main two differences I thought I had.
Yes. Okay. And so, what were the criteria for the PhD for the US and the Europe? And like the TOEFL is the entrance exam for the both USA and the Europe, or like only for the USA? Because in
Yeah,
almost all
like
countries,
I
yes. Hmm.
yes. So I wouldn't say TOEFL is the entrance exam, honestly,
Hmm.
because like, so we have that like idea, like for in India we have one centralized exam like JAM or
Hmm.
advanced,
Hmm.
then we get admitted to like all of the IITs from one exam.
Hmm.
In USA there is no such thing, like they won't take one such exam. So typically one university would like
Hmm.
generate a score based on 5 to 6 like points or things of your CV
Hmm.
or like of your profile. So among one of them is TOEFL. So it is not the sole thing actually.
Hmm.
So the things that are really important, so I will be trying to take in like increase decreasing order of importance. So first your CPI or like what do you call it? I mean CGPA or CPI.
CGPA.
Like
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
yeah. So that is more important. So
Hmm.
like in USA there is 4 point scale in for CGPA,
Hmm.
like CPI. In India we have 10 point scale.
Right.
So what they want is, they want, typically they want more than 3.5 out of 4. That translates to on average
8
8.75.
point something. Yes.
I'm not saying like they will
Hmm.
not accept you if you have less than that, but it's good for you.
Hmm.
So they will be wanting more than 3.5. And this is first. Second, there is projects that I was talking about, like
Hmm.
projects. I'll be I just let me like list those, and I'll be like explaining more after that. Then there is recommendation letters. Like most of the universities will be wanting pre-recommended letters for you from you.
Okay.
And then your GRE TOEFL score. Again, GRE score is not being given more importance right nowadays, but TOEFL is accepted for the like all the universities at all
Right.
universities. Yeah. And then your like extra curriculums, your CV, your SOP comes then. Like SOP means like statement of purpose.
Hmm.
So so these are like 5 to 6 things that they like really focus on, and like generate a holistic score on top of this. So what is the like good thing about this thing is, if you have some like weak point about one of these, you can make up with others. So for example, you don't have good CPI, you are
Hmm.
like 8.2, 8.3, but you really have some good projects, so that makes up for you in your profile. So
Hmm.
that's the good thing. Like unlike an Indian education system where like examination of 2 hours determines our whole journey,
Right.
it's
Hmm.
not like that. It's not
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that. So they
Hmm.
they, they give you more opportunities to build up your profile. And so coming up to the details, what I really wanted to say is, about the projects is, uh, projects are as good as like up to the applications. After that, it doesn't count your CV. Like for me right now, nobody cares what I've done in PhD and MSc
Hmm.
as a project unless I have that published. So what I'm really trying to say here is try to do publications more, because in PhD you are really gonna like compete with students from China and South Korea, and they are very like very much into publications. And think about universities perspective. If you have, if they have some student coming from China who had two publications, and they are comparing them with you who don't have any
Hmm.
publications, they're definitely going to take that student,
Right.
because at the end of the day research and publications are key things here actually in a PhD thing. So they will think that yes, that student know how to do a publications, that
Hmm.
student know what are the needs of an publication. The weightage of that student will be more. So try to do publications as much as possible, and it's very hard, I know. It generally takes more than 1 year, and doing a publication in 6 months or 8 months is not a cup of tea. And also when you submit, like the time from submission and publication is again more than 1 year. So
Hmm.
whatever you do, try to convert your projects into publication, try to do something new in your field. And and honestly, all the professors I've worked with, they are also very keen about publications. Like they are also into that, like yes, it doesn't matter what you do unless you publish.
Hmm.
They will
Hmm.
also push it. At least I have got those professors in my institutions, or like whoever I worked with. So that's very important, because so if you have two publications, then really your CPI, your other things doesn't matter. Like that carry a lot of weightage in
Right.
USA admissions. Yeah.
Hmm.
So if you have publications or at least submissions to some journal, some revisions, that there are steps of publications, that is very much like beneficial for your profile. And then I'll come to the recommendation part. For recommendation, I'll really suggest that, uh, so basically you need three recommendations on average for in a university.
It will depend, I
So
think, ki do university university. Yeah, but
mostly it's three. Like for
okay.
95% universities, it's
Hmm.
three.
Okay.
Some of the universities say that, well, we will be happy with two recommendations. Some of the universities must say that we need three, but you
Hmm.
can do up to five. So that's flexible, but
Hmm.
mostly it's three.
Okay.
So what you need is three recommendations, and what they try to see in a recommendation letter is, so basically, let me go deeper into that.
Hmm.
So basically, when you write some CV, like I have done this project, I have done that project, मैंने ये किया वो किया, बहुत सारे कुछ आपने लिखा, but they don't really check, like they don't have a way to check if you're telling the truth or not. What
Hmm.
they try to see is they try to see the recommendation letters, and if the recommendation letter resonate with your CV. For example, if you have written very good things in your CV, and your recommendation letters also say that yes, he is a good student, he is a passionate student, then this it matches, right? Then
Hmm.
it's gonna get a lot of boost, right? So so they have only one mean to justify or to verify what you have written, if you're really good or really passionate about research, is the recommendation letters. And generally a recommender doesn't lie, because he or she also has her own reputation to like
Right.
maintain. So that's a good thing for the university to verify your profile. So that's why these are the most important thing in a like profile. So try
Hmm.
to maintain very good relationship with your recommender. Try to choose your recommender with whom you have worked or like done project, because what happens is like mostly again they want to see how good researcher you are. So if you have taken recommendation from someone with whom you have not worked or researched, he or she really wouldn't mention anything about how good researcher you are. So that's why it's very important to get a recommendation from a person who have done work with. So basically it comes to the point you have to do research project with three professors, because you
Right.
need three recommendations.
Hmm.
So that's the point when every student gets stuck, because doing three research project during like 1 year or like 1.5 years of MSc is very tough. uh, Most of the students can do up to two projects and get two recommendations from like research recommendations, and they get one from other professor with whom they have done some courses, have done some good in courses, something like that. So that's the general norm. But if you try to do three projects, that will be very beneficial, because you will be getting three recommendation letters from your advisors.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, so that's that. And then GRE and TOEFL is, there is mostly a cutoff for TOEFL exams in most of the universities. Generally it's around 90. So
Okay.
if you target more than 100, it should be enough for basic sciences. Like some school, like business schools, they want more, but for basic sciences it's more than 100 is sufficient.
Hmm.
And about GRE is being less popular day by day, mostly because of its ridiculous like vocabulary that comes very little help, or like a less help in your publications or like research. So GRE has like these two things, like very easy mathematics and very hard vocabulary. So that's why they find it very ridiculous, and they are
Hmm.
increasingly not getting into GRE. But if you are targeting some universities that accept GRE, you should do it. Like you should not like opt out a university just because they are asking for GRE and you have not a GRE score. So it's better if you give the GRE, so you will have your more options for universities. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's two things. And about so and the last thing is about your CV and your profile. So most of us do a common mistake about doing our CV, like doing all the research work and
Hmm.
doing the coursework, that's all. But all I have learned a thing actually, because like one of my professor told me, and also I'm finding it right now, that there are some other things in your profile, other things in your CV that you could build that will really give you a push. For example, so if you show that for example, if you don't have a course in your institute, but that is required for one of the projects you are doing, right? So
Hmm.
for example, I was doing a project on causal inference, but IIT has not offered any course on causal inference. So what I tried to do is I tried to do a course on Coursera, because
Okay.
that has, yeah.
Hmm.
So that shows that whenever you have some difficulty, or you have some like wall ahead of you, you know how to tackle it. So
Right.
that's a like show of characterization, that you don't stop because you don't have the resources, you try to find it. So these are some subtle things that makes your profile a bit different, right? I hope you're understanding what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
So so not only doing projects or like good coursework, getting good CGPA, but also try to do other things that will look that yes, you are active students, you are
Right.
passionate about statistics.
Hmm.
So for example, being into your like department statistics organization who organizes a seminar, something like that.
Hmm.
So be a part of that. And if you write that, so that shows that you are not only into books, you are also
Right.
like willing to do more, like more to know, more to explore. So that's what is I'll not say very important, but also makes a difference, I would say.
Okay.
So so that's all from me about like what are the things that they will really see.
The student face the problem like to get the visa.
That's
Hmm.
a real problem here.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So about the visa, I'll say that so for us PhD students, the visa is F1, and honestly, F1 visa is not very hard to get, and the rejection
Hmm.
ratio is less than if you are a master student coming here with J1 visa or like some other tourist visas. So generally what happens is, for visa they reject mostly because of funding. They don't see that you have good fundings, or
Okay.
they see that you are not passionate enough. So there are the things mostly. But for PhD, it is fully funded in most of the universities. So the funding problem goes away immediately for PhD students. So that is the like I would say prime reason for which F1 visas doesn't get cancelled very often.
Hmm.
So yeah, I was scared when I was doing my visa applications. I was not getting slots. So there's a lot of thing, I understand, but you will eventually get it. So when you have got the applications or like the admission offers, you will get it on February or March.
Hmm.
Then you will see there are no visa applications or like no visa slots. Don't panic. The visa slots will open like in June or in May or in July, and you will eventually get the visa. So there has been very few cases who have not being able to go to USA just because of visa slots. Well, that happened in during COVID, some cases, but during normal time, it's very rare that you are not getting visa slots. Initially, it will look that I'm not getting any slots. Everyone around you will panic, hmm, and there will be, so at some point there will be 100 slots and they will be like finishing in minutes. You will not be getting anything, you'll be frustrated. Those will come, I understand, but at the end of the day we'll get slots because at the end of the June or like start of the July, they make slots very like available to you. So don't panic, you will get it. And about the visa interview, that's another thing like I was also scared of. So but don't be scared because you are a PhD student, honestly, again, because they rarely cancel a PhD visa because the university wants them, like the university wants the student, and they have some good backup for like, yeah, I want this student, I have good fundings for this student, so let him come, let him or let her come. So
Okay.
that's why it's not get cancelled often. So for example, I'll tell you my interview experience. So I went to like the counter where they was taking interview. Like then there was a like woman there. She started with so you have got to Duke. I said yes. And and then she asked me like, what made you make this choice like Duke? Then I started with some very basic and very lame explanation like it's the best institute uh, uh, in Bayesian statistics, something like that. And in one or 30, like 30 seconds or 45 seconds, like she told me, yeah, your visa is approved. So I'll say that for PhD students, don't scare. It's all right if you are not getting slots initially, but you will get it, no problem. And so honestly, there is one thing that was like propelling my like fear. There was some YouTube channels and some pages, honestly, because not offending you or like your communities, but there are some
No.
channels,
Mm.
there are some channels like who also give like paid I would say like they book slots if you pay them. So they try to make a panic that you'll not be getting anything, so come to us, we will do it for you. So that type of thing happens.
Yes.
So don't fall into that. You will get it in your own, like thousands of students are doing on their own. So don't worry about that.
It's mainly the student go for abroad for the like if they are getting the good scholarship, good stipend. So can you tell me about your stipend range and what is the approximate range that if you anyone go for the US or like the Europe, so how much they may get as a scholarship?
Well, yeah, sure. I'm not particularly sure about Europe, but
Hmm.
one thing I can like most definitely say is it's more than enough for your living
Hmm.
and like your daily expenses. So, and one point that I really try to like highlight here is I have seen many students or like some of my friends also there who was afraid of coming to PhD because they had their family to support for,
Hmm.
like they had some economical issues like monetary issues in their family, and they told me that, and yeah, I have to do job because I have to provide to the family.
Right.
So I would tell them that uh, if you come to USA like PhD in USA, you will get enough stipend to like run your daily expenses, and then you'll saving like 30
Hmm.
300 to $400 to send to your home. Like that's like almost 30,000 rupees if you convert to rupees.
Hmm.
So if you only have monetary issues, like there are cases when like
Hmm.
your father or mother needs you like physically, like they are not being able to do their own work, that's
Hmm.
different issue.
Right.
But if the issue is only monetary, then don't hesitate to come to PhD because you'll be saving enough to provide for your family. So that's one thing I really wanted to make clear. So on average, the range is 2,000 to 4,000 depending on where you are. For
Hmm.
example, if you are in a university near a big city, for example, New York or Texas, then your living like expenses will be higher. So they take into account about that, and also like they increase your salary each year.
Hmm.
For me, I am not staying in a very big like mega city. I'm living in Durham, which is like a mid down in with respect to an Indian like culture.
Hmm.
So for me, I'm getting like more than 2,000, so it's good for me. On
Hmm.
average, for me, I'm saving more than 500 per month, which I can. So I don't have to send to my family, but if I wished, I could have
Hmm.
done that. So all I'm saying, it's more than so unless you are doing like partying all the day, you are going to like
Mm-hmm.
traveling all the year. So that's different thing.
Right.
Like a normal living, it's very affordable, like for you
Mhm.
with that stipend. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. So you'll get the host facilities from the college side, or like you have to like from your side?
Come again? I didn't catch.
Accommodation facilities are from the
Okay.
university side?
Yeah. So basically, some universities have some accommodations.
Hmm.
Uh, Mostly it's for their undergraduate students, like BSc
Hmm.
or master students. Mostly the PhD students, what they do is they rent an apartment,
Hmm.
and also like the rent is not like the rent is also affordable within your stipend, I would say. So for me, I'm currently staying in a 3 BHK apartment with other two people,
Hmm.
and my rent is like $600 dollars per month. So I can afford it very well, honestly.
Hmm.
And for PhD students, the like hostels or something like that, the opportunities are less, I would say, in comparison to an undergraduate students. But there are some, for example, there were something for us, like some duke housing, something like that. But we didn't choose that because like there were so many restrictions about when you can enter, when you can
Hmm.
like how much late you can like turn on your light, something like that maybe.
Hmm.
So there are some restrictions which most of the PhD students want to avoid, because like research work is like something that is your own comfort. You want to do it whenever you want to do it. So that's why most of the students rent their own apartment. Yeah.
Okay. So like I think we discussed lots of the points. Now I would like to talk about your days in the USA. So how you are enjoying your days, your day
Yeah.
to day like?
So sure. So honestly, the weather is, for example, first of all, I would say like the weather is pretty like decent here. Not much uh, hot weather, not much cold weather. So that makes a lots of difference. Like you are not sweating much. You have a
Hmm.
lot of energy at the end of the day. So for example, like if you go to college at India by bus, 1 hour bus, and do 5 hour of college, then come back to your home by again 1 hour of like public commuting, then you get really tired, and
Hmm.
like there is so much less energy left with you to do the homeworks or something like that. The things are very different here. Like the weather is so much pleasant, and they have their own like transportation system. My university has their own buses like that take me to college and like take me from the college to my home. So these are really well organized. That's the first of thing. There's a lot of resources in terms of like laptops. I can borrow laptops. I can borrow anything I want, almost anything I want for my academic journey. So that makes really your academic journey very helpful and very resourceful, honestly. Like so, for example, I recently like borrowed a book from my library that was like on Markov chain Monte Carlo. I was planning to read it over 2 or 3 months, but I was scared that they will ask me to return it within 1 month. That's usually
Hmm.
an Indian library too. But when I went there, they said that for PhD students, we let them get the book for 1 year. So I was very happy that so these are the resources you get when you come up like good university in
Hmm.
USA. So that makes my academic life very helpful. And other than that, the personal life, well, sometimes it can get very lonely depending on like how many friends or like, so the things are very different from India. Like here, all the other people, you will find that they are minding their own business. so
Hmm.
so in India, in Indian hostel, I have been to hostel in India for 7 years. So
Hmm.
there is a like concept, like at the end of the day we are all joining in a single room, we are making noises and like hum masti kar rahe bahut.
Great.
So thing changes when you suddenly like come here and you are all day in your room not talking much. That makes an effect on your health, mental health, honestly. So
Hmm.
try to make friends with like maybe local or domestic students. If you have some Indian students, try to hang out with them. So it's really important. So for me, I've been very lucky because there are a lot of Bengali people and a lot of Indian people here around Duke. Actually, there are three good universities around here, like
Okay.
Duke University,
Hmm.
North Carolina State University, and UNC Chapel Hill. All are within like 20 mile of like 20 to 30 mile radius. So what happens is we can join, we can gather for a football match at the weekends. So those things are very good for me. But I understand like things can get different for other students. For example, if you are in a very far distant university, you might not
Hmm.
see an Indian people for like 1 or 2 months.
Right.
So I try not to get frustrated, try to make friends, because honestly it's very hard to live without friends.
Hmm.
So if not Indian, then local friends or like some other international friends, they are not like, so often we have that idea that they are not approachable. If we try to make friends, they will say no, I don't want to be friends with you. Things are not like that. They are very like friendly, and they're very approachable. Like, so yeah, so try to make good friends, because your mental is very important. 5 years is a long time. You can't
Hmm.
survive without friends.
Yes.
So for me, it's I was very lucky. I have been like doing some tours, some like long drives with my seniors, something like that. So that personal life has been very much uh, good for me, honestly.
Last question that I generally ask to all our podcast members, like, what the suggestions you would like to give your juniors about your life experience, like some mistakes that you did or you should juniors should not to do, and any other thing.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so firstly, I would say like for a USA PhD, your institution do matter. Honestly, there's no lying about that. So for example, if you're in a university where there has been no history of coming to USA for PhD, you are the first like student to do that. It will be very hard for you. Like you don't know anything about what to do, when to do. You would
Hmm.
not have any seniors to guide you. So that will be very hard. So honestly, institution do matter. So, for example, like for statistics, IIT Kanpur, ISI Kolkata, those are very good institutes. Like Calcutta University, those are very good universities from where like students come each year, like 3 to 4 to 5 students, and for ISI it's almost 10 to 12 students come. So, so if your dream is USA PhD, then you have to really work from beginning, like from your
Hmm.
bachelor's. Try to get into some colleges which have good like PhD records,
Hmm.
from where students generally go to PhDs. So that's very important. Like, so if you are thinking in your second semesters of your masters that, yeah, well, now I am
Hmm.
going to do PhD, it will be hard for you.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying
Yes.
try to work for it early in your early stage in your career, for firstly, and secondly, you got to be passionate about it, honestly, because
Hmm.
for the whole like your third semester or second semester in your masters, things are gonna get very much ugly. You will have like 100 things to do, and you are not getting time to do any of it. So things will get very much like out of your capacity. That's true for everyone, I suppose. And don't lose hope. You are like, just believe that you are doing great, and do the hard work. Like, there is no alternate
Hmm.
about the hard work. That's what I'm always trying to say, that so be like confident, be truthful to yourself, that yes, I'm doing hard work. And at the end of the day, there might be things that you have skipped or like you couldn't attend to, but you have attended so many other things. Like, there were 100 things you had to do. You could not do 40 things, but you have done 60 things, right?
Hmm.
So, and you have to believe that this situation is for all the students. So all the
Right.
students are facing the similar problems. They are not getting time. So don't get frustrated. Try to carry on. Be persistent about your dreams. It
Hmm.
will come. And there's no lying, like, your institutions and the professor you are working with, that do matter. They're like how much famous they are in USA community, that also matters. So a lot of things are there, but honestly, things will like came into place. So when you work hard, like, opportunities will come, try to grab it. So
Hmm.
that's all, like, that's all from me.
Yeah. Okay. So I think guys, you got lots of the points about the USA PhD and other difficulties you are facing. So I think this podcast definitely will help you. Uh, so thanks Arjit Bhai for joining us.
Sure. Also, like,
Yeah.
if you have like some particular questions, you can also, like, I think.
If you have any other questions, guys, you can feel free to comment where Arjit
Yeah, sure.
or I will also definitely reply in the comment section, or maybe we'll discuss that questions in our next podcast. Since
Yeah,
like in our last podcast we discussed about like the TOEFL exams, entrance exams. So those who are really interested for the USA PhD or any other country would like to go. Once watch that video, that definitely will help you. And this videos like we talked about the different topics. So I think you will get really enjoy that. Okay. Thank you, Arjit bhai, for joining us there.
thank you so much. Yeah.